The engine died the second I saw the smoke. Out there in the white emptiness, smoke meant one thing: someone was alive nearby. And when you're hours from rescue with a dying partner behind you, that thin gray trail feels like the only hope you'll ever get. The storm had swallowed everything. Wind screamed across the frozen terrain, turning daylight into a spinning wall of white. I had left my injured partner buried in layers and emergency gear less than an hour earlier, promising I would come back with help. Every second riding alone felt like betrayal. I followed the smoke through a corridor of skeletal trees until a crooked structure appeared. It was small, half buried in drifted snow, like the land itself was trying to erase it. A dim orange glow pulsed through a single frosted window. The door was unlocked. That should have been the first warning. Warm air wrapped around me as I stepped inside, carrying the smell of burning wood and something sour beneath it. The place looked lived in, a bedroll on the floor, a metal spoon resting in an opened can, boots drying near the stove. I called out, my voice sounding fragile in the heavy silence. No answer, only the faint ticking of expanding wood in the heat. For a moment, I just stood there, letting my frozen hands thaw enough to feel pain again. A thought crept in slowly. If someone had been here seconds ago, where were they now? I tried the satellite phone again. Static. Nothing. The storm was eating every signal I had. I told myself I couldn't stay. Someone else's survival depended on me moving forward. But as I turned toward the door, something on the back wall caught my eye. Binoculars, a folded map, a notebook. Curiosity can be lethal in the wilderness, I knew that. Still, I walked over. The map showed the surrounding trails, but sections were circled in thick marker. Dates were scribbled beside them, recent dates. Some locations were painfully familiar. My stomach dropped before I even opened the notebook. Inside were descriptions, not landscapes, people, clothing colors, travel directions, notes about how long someone stayed at certain cabins. It felt like reading surveillance logs written by a ghost. The warmth of the room vanished in an instant. Every object suddenly felt staged, positioned, like I had stepped into a trap that had been waiting for me specifically. I moved toward the exit, slowly at first, then faster. Before my hand touched the door, a scream erupted beneath the floor. It was violent, raw, the kind of sound that tears straight through instinct and logic. A woman's voice stretched into pure terror. She wasn't speaking, she was just screaming like something down there was breaking her apart. The shock knocked the air out of me. I stumbled backwards, staring at the warped wooden boards as if they might explode upward. The scream cut off mid-breath, replaced by a suffocating silence that somehow felt worse. I ran. Outside, the storm swallowed the cabin almost immediately. I gunned the throttle and tore through the snow without looking back. Branches whipped past in a blur. I couldn't tell if the sound pounding in my ears was the wind or my own heartbeat trying to escape. Time lost meaning after that. I remember crashing through drifts, checking coordinates with shaking hands, forcing myself to focus. If I stopped, someone might die, maybe 2 people. Eventually, a real emergency cabin emerged from the storm like a mirage. I burst inside and reached the radio. The call went through. Rescue was coming. Hours later, they airlifted my partner out alive, hypothermic, broken, but breathing. When I told officials about the hidden structure and the scream, they listened politely. They promised to investigate once conditions improved. I believed them because I needed to. Days passed. Then the call came. They couldn't find anything. No cabin, no smoke trail, no sign of disturbed snow or footprints. According to them, I had ridden through untouched wilderness the entire time. They suggested exhaustion, shock, hallucination. I wanted to accept that explanation. It would mean no one was trapped under frozen floorboards waiting for help that would never come. It would mean there wasn't someone out there mapping human movement like prey patterns. But sometimes, late at night, I hear that scream again, and I realize the worst possibility isn't that the cabin was real. It's that it still is.